So we are talking about the graphics on chapter 2 for a big Java book. So far we learned how to create our frame. We learn how to create component for the drawing, and we're going to put the component added to the frame. We had 4 steps to do that, and then we had steps to do the components. And remember, every one of them, you have to create an object before you use it. Now we're going to take this a little further. We're going to explore some more drawing methods that we have. Remember, that's the reason we use object-oriented programming, because somebody has written something and we're just going to use it. So we are just using these objects. We're going to know about their functionality, and we're going to just use it. So for me to use my car, I have to know how to drive. I have to know how to use certain component in my car. So I'm going to be able to put it in reverse, put it forward, for the transmission, push the gas, push the brake, all of those components that's part of my car. I have to know how to operate them. And that's what we're learning over here. We're extending up how we're going to do this in the drawing. So one of the things that we have is called ellipse. So when we're talking about ellipse or circles, we're going to look at it as a rectangular shape. So this is going to be bar X, Y. This is going to be width and length, just like we were doing the rectangular. That's the way we're going to be looking at these things. So the method is ellipse. I'm not going to go over this double, but just remember how we're going to do this. We're going to come back and talk about that later. So we're going to be calling it with the X, Y, width, and height. That's the way we're going to create that. So again, we're going to get to this double. That's the inner class. We talk about the inner class later. Don't worry about it that much. What we're saying over here is this is what you need for your input. It doesn't have the double. So we just do the G2 the draw ellipse. For the circle is almost the same way. So we're going to have our X, Y diameter and diameter. Just like that one, we have the box. This one is like a scooter. So we're going to have X, Y, and of course, the boundaries, leg width and legs, just like the other one. For the lines, we can do it 2 ways. One is just do a line 2D dot double and put X, the first X and Y, and the last X and Y. Or what we can do is create points. So we're going to create 1 point, and we're going to create another point, and then we calling those points into our line. So either we're going to draw the whole line, or we're going to have points, and then we pass those points to our method for constructing your line. We can draw text, and that's part of the drawing also. It's called the drawstring. So again, we're going to have X, Y coordinate, and then so in this case, we're going to have a drawstring. We're going to have what we want to draw. That's in double quote as a string, and then we have the X, Y coordinate. So you extend this, it's going to just move forward. Colors. Again, you have for the color also is object. So we're going to getting used to this, that Java is 100% object oriented. Almost everything is object. So for the color, we need to create a color object. So we have a color object, and then we're going to figure out how to use it. So for the color object, we are using red, green, blue. That's RGB. So it's 3 byte. So it's 3 byte. One is red, one is green, one is blue, and 1 byte. It has 8 bits. It can go from 0 to 255. From 0 to 255, and that's the basic colors. Doesn't give you too much, but it's, we have enough color to do whatever we need to do. So 0 means no, and then 255 means maximum. So in this case, I have maximum red, no green, maximum blue. That's what it says over here. So that means what? If I have 0 here, and 255 here, that's going to be my blue. If I have 255, 0, 0, that would give me my red. So that's RGB color. But also, we have some final variable, constant variables that have this created for these things also. So instead of saying 0, 0, 255, we can just say color.blue or color.red, pink, and we have some of them. So before we do our shape, we're going to create the color, and then we're going to use that color. So remember, this is the way we're going to create the new color, and then we're going to be using it over here. So 1 step, 2 step, and before we draw our component. So you can have the shapes to be filled with the color, the background, you can fill it. So the circle, when you say G2.fill circle, that's going to be our circle fill. Remember, we set the color before it, we created the object of color, we set it, and then when you draw the fill, it's going to fill it with that color. So you set it over there, and it's going to use it till you change that set. These are some of the colors that we can use the name, and we have the RGB values. Remember, RGB is red, green, and blue. And of course, when we were doing programming a long time ago, we had to memorize some of these things. Of course, if you do that day in, day out, you remember it. And the good thing about the numbers is you can have shades of things. So 255 is the maximum blue, 250 is less blue, 245 is less blue. So we can have shades of things, and you can go low, as much as you want. So for example, 0, 0, I don't know, 50 is going to give you a very light blue. So 192 is a light gray. So you can use the names or you can use the numbers, however you're comfortable with. Again, you don't have to memorize it, just put it somewhere that you can reference it. And if you use it long enough, you know it. So if I have all of the colors, if I have all of them, it's going to give me white. If I don't have any of them, it's going to give me black. And if I have half of them, it's going to give me gray. So 0, 0 to 55 is blue. 0 to 55, 0 is green. 255, 0, 0. What is 255, 0, 0 is red. And yellow is 255, 255, 0. So it has red and green, but no blue. I mean, if you have time, it's going to be fun to play with these things. Okay, so if I want to draw this, again, we're going to learn more advanced graphics later on in the middle of the course. But let's say that we want to draw this. What components do I have? So we're going to start with the components. So this is my design. I wanted to do this. So what components do I have? Well, I need to do this head, that's ellipse. I need to do the eyes, I need to do the lip, and I need to write this one right here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 components. We are not going to create different classes. We're just going to put all of them in one class for now. So remember, for the component, this is the name that we are creating for this class. We're going to be extending it from JComponent. This paint component has to be called paint component. And we're going to pass graphics in there. And we're going to do typecast it to Graphics2D. We need these things over here. Line to Ellipse 2D are coming from Geom. J component is coming from the swing. That's where we are extending it for the inheritance. So we are separating it. We put some comments to make it more readable. So first, for the head, we're going to create an ellipse. We're going to put those numbers in it, and we're going to draw it. Then for the eyes, we need 2 boxes of green. So we're going to create a box green. We're going to put it right there. We're going to use the fill for eye. We can create another rectangular, or we can translate it. So it's going to move to a different location. For the mouth, we're going to be using a line. We're going to do those. And again, we're going to set the color, and we're going to draw the mouth. For the what happened to my draw green? Okay, so I'm missing a little part of that. It's just basically using your draw text to do your hello world. So our main, that was one class. This is my second class that has a main in there. So step 1 is to create an object of frame. And step 2, set the size. And step 3, put the title on it. And step 4, put the exit on close. Now, we need to create our component. First step is create an object of my component. Step 2 is to add it to my frame. And of course, we are always going to be doing set visible true. I know it's a lot of stuff in there, but you don't have to memorize them. You just got to do it and then do it and do it again. So we have a few of these things here. Let me see. Give instruction to draw a circle with center 100, 100 and radius 25. I'll give you a minute. Again, if you need more time, just pause it and do it. Okay, so that's for that one. Next one is talking about give instruction to draw a letter V by drawing 2 line segments. So we're going to create 2 lines to create a V. Okay, next one, give instruction to draw a string consisting of the letter V. So before we did 2 lines, now we want to just construct a string. Okay, next one, what are RGB color values for color blue? You should know this. I'm going to give you only 30 seconds or so. How do you draw a yellow square on a red background? Draw a square on a red background.